Now coming to the stateful inspection firewall for the next generation firewall. In stateful inspection or the second generation firewall, it maintains the session table. Like every time your PC generates a traffic, it will maintain a table in the firewall or a dynamic database for all active connection. Okay. It firewall normally remember this session, and firewall automatically create a temporary rule to allow the return traffic. We don't need to manually create a allow traffic here in the stateful firewall or second generation firewall. In second generation firewall, we have resolved the issue of creating the second rule. As you know, we have introduced the concept of memory. This memory used to maintain this session table. And once the session or the connection between the source and destination completed, your PC normally send this finished packet. Your PC will send this finished packet. With this, your firewall will able to understand like the traffic between the source and destination is now completed. We can remove the table or this information from the session table. Now coming to this, what information your session table maintain? This contain the source IP, internal PC, destination IP, source port, destination port, and the protocol. Protocol is like whether it is a TCP port or the UDP port. Okay. So whenever your return traffic, for the return traffic, it will auto generate, create a rule to allow the traffic from outside to inside. See, फर्स्ट जनरेशन फायरवॉल में हमारे साथ इशू क्या था कि ये सिर्फ और सिर्फ सोर्स पोर्ट और डेस्टिनेशन पोर्ट और सोर्स आईपी डेस्टिनेशन आईपी चेक करता था. हम फायरवॉल में एक रूल क्रिएट करते थे जो इनसाइड टू आउटसाइड के लिए रहता था, बट जब भी रिटर्न ट्रैफिक आता था उसके लिए हमें एक अलग से रूल क्रिएट करना होता था जो कि आउटसाइड टू इनसाइड के लिए रहता था. राइट. बट सेकंड जनरेशन फायरवॉल या स्टेटफुल फायरवॉल में ये इशू को रिजॉल्व कर दिया गया.
टाइम कंज्यूमिंग इशू नहीं रहेगा इसमें.
एक डायनेमिक मेमोरी को इंक्लूड किया गया इसमें, और वो मेमोरी क्या करता था कि वो सेशन टेबल मेंटेन करता है. सेशन टेबल में से क्या क्या इंफॉर्मेशन रहती है? सोर्स का आईपी रहेगा, सोर्स का डेस्टिनेशन का आईपी, सोर्स पोर्ट, डेस्टिनेशन पोर्ट एंड द प्रोटोकॉल. Once the session created for the particular traffic, it will automatically allow the return traffic as well by looking out to the session table. Okay. Now coming to the next generation firewall or the third generation of the firewall. In next generation firewall, we have introduced the feature of like deep packet inspection, IPS, antivirus scanning, web filtering, application control. Application control in the sense we can directly control the application like Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. If you want, you can directly block the complete traffic of Instagram or Facebook directly by applying policy to this application, right? Next generation firewall is also capable of scanning the traffic as well. What is present inside to your traffic? What is the type of data? It will also look for the IPS. With next generation firewall, we have all this capability. And the present firewall that we are using is also a third generation firewall for the next generation firewall. We don't have a fourth generation right now officially. So you can say the present generation of the firewall is the third generation. Now let's discuss about the top leading firewall vendor that we have right now in the industry. One of the firewall is Palo Alto. This Palo Alto firewall is normally one of the top firewall. The second one, why this is in the top? Because of this integration with of the cloud security. Palo Alto also introduced the feature of cloud security like Prisma. This Prisma is from the Palo Alto itself, and the machine learning capability as well. What this means it means they have introduced the AI based feature in the firewall. The next leading firewall is the Fortinet. Sometimes Fortinet also beat the Palo Alto in some cases, like ability to execute category. Why? Because Fortinet not just use a single CPU for all the complete firewall process, but it uses a separate chip which is called as a ASIC, application specific integrated circuit. What it means. Now the third leading firewall is the Checkpoint itself, and the Cisco is the fourth one. These are the four major vendors for the firewall who is leading the industry right now. See, this is the Magic Quadrant report of 2026. You can see the Fortinet, Palo Alto, Checkpoint is the leaders. Challenger is the HP Juniper Networking, Visionary Cisco. So you can see these are the four main category firewall vendors. We have right till now we have studied about the generation of firewall.
First generation, second generation.
Yes, different generation like first, second, and third generation. What is the stateful firewall? What is the packet filtering firewall?
And firewall vendors, Palo Alto,
who is
Fortinet.
the major leaders in the firewall industry. And let's come to the our main topic, which is Fortinet. In this series, we are going to study about the Fortinet firewall. So let's continue with this introduction part. Fortinet is the vendor, like the Cisco is the vendor, and the FortiGate is the firewall, which is come from the Fortinet. Okay, so FortiGate is a standard industry-leading next-generation firewall designed to protect network from modern cyber threat while maintaining higher speed performance. How it maintain the high speed performance? By using this ASIC chip. Unlike traditional router or basic firewall that only check IP address, port number, FortiGate also look for the perform deep packet inspection. Now let's discuss what makes Fortinet unique in the enterprise. What are the different category or the features that we have in Fortinet firewall? First is the hardware acceleration. Hardware acceleration means it uses a different CPU for different process. Like it Fortinet firewall not completely rely on the standard computer CPU. Fortinet build custom microchips called which we call as a security processing unit or the SPU, or we can say ASIC, application specific integrated circuit. The second feature of the Fortinet firewall is the unified OS. What it means? If you, let's say, if you have a small branch of his firewall, some small firewall in one of the branch, or if you have some big firewall in,
Tower
let's say,
locations.
in data center. So in each or in both firewall, you will see the same GUI or the same CLI. Fortinet introduced the same graphical view for each firewall. You don't need to learn the different command line CLI or the GUI for each type of firewalls. We just need to, or you just need to learn about the single firewall GUI. You can see all the features which is available in small branch firewall is also available in the data center firewall. Okay. Convergence. FortiGate is not just a firewall, it also acts as a UTM machine. UTM means Unified Threat Management Machine. It combines the feature of like SD-WAN, VPN, gateway. This FortiGate firewall can also act as a controller for your switch, wireless, manage all of the Fortinet device using your Fortinet firewall. All these features are available in the single device itself. You don't need to purchase the like a controller for the access point or for the switches. Okay, it doesn't mean you can manage the Cisco access point using the Fortinet firewall. It will only manage the Fortinet access point or the Fortinet switches. Okay.
Basically, it is also monitoring, right?
Yes, it also provides you the features of monitoring of your LAN devices.
Okay. So means switches, router, whatever is the how much switches is there.
Yes,
Yeah,
how
switch
much
count,
switch
router
is
count is
there?
be monitoring, right?
You can configure the
Okay.
switch access point using this firewall as well.
Okay.
You don't need to
Okay.
manually
So
log
which
in.
location switch is on will be managed, right?
Yes, you can all manage your switch LAN devices like switch or access
Okay.
point using the FortiGate firewall.
Okay.
It will also give you the topology view.
Okay.
Yes. As I've discussed, the single biggest technology advantage of FortiGate is the ASIC, application specific integrated circuit. Instead of using the main CPU of firewall, do all the hardware, Fortinet uses this ASIC to perform the different tasks. Like for network process, they have a network processor in the firewall, which is used to manage your firewall policy, NATing, VPN encryption at the hardware level. What it means? It means the main CPU is not going to perform this task. This task is going to perform by this network processor. Now, the second chip is content processor. What it will do? It will do the process of antivirus scanning, IPS scanning, SSL TLS inspection. All this activity or the packet inspection is done by this content processor. That is why the Fortinet firewall is much faster, even if it handles the lots of traffic or the millions of traffic, it will not slow down your network. Why? Because it has a different processor for each task. FortiOS, as I have discussed, you will see the single operating system for each of the firewall, whether it is a small box or the large enterprise or the data center box. you will see the same interface or GUI or the CLI for each of the box. You don't need to learn different CLI or GUI for the small box or the larger box. Okay. As I've told you, it also acts as FortiOS. The operating system which is used in the firewall, Fortinet firewall, is FortiOS. This FortiOS is capable of controlling your wireless access point, which is FortiAP, or switching, or FortiSwitch, we can say, and even a VoIP. See, you don't need to purchase a VoIP controller for your IP phone or wireless controller for the access point. The third benefit is it also gives you the features of SD-WAN. SD-WAN in the sense, let's say you have a multiple link in your network. Say this is your firewall.
Centralize the access.
This is a 2 ISP that you have taken from the 2 different ISP, and this is your LAN network. This Fortinet gives you the features of SD-WAN. Let's say if you want your YouTube traffic will go via this ISP1, ISP2. If you want your YouTube traffic go via this ISP1 only, but if ISP1 goes down, it will go via ISP2. These all features obtained automatic using or by configuring the SD-WAN features in the firewall. There is no extra cost for this SD-WAN capabilities. This is an inbuilt feature. You can also perform the load balancing between these 2 ISP. If you want your traffic get divided between these 2 ISP, that you can also do. So Fortinet also provides you the capability of this Fortinet SD-WAN. So you can dynamically manage 2 different links. Once you configure the SD-WAN, you don't need to worry about the switching your traffic from 1 to 2 if one goes down. If this goes down, your traffic will automatically switch to this one. And after some time, if it is come up, your traffic again will get divided between these 2 ISP. All these things can be obtained using SD-WAN features of the firewall. See, I have mentioned here as well, if the primary internet link start dropping packet or experiencing high latency like jitter, FortiGate automatically shift critical traffic to the healthy link in milliseconds without the user noticing. Now, the next feature is the Fortinet Security Fabric. As I have told you, you can also manage your FortiSwitch or FortiAccess point using the FortiGate firewall. So this will also provide you the visibility by giving you the topological view of your network. And one of the main feature is automatic response. If one of the client device or the user devices get infected and the Forti client is installed in the machine, then Forti client what will do? It will quickly inform the FortiGate firewall about the infected device, and the FortiGate firewall will block this infected device. See, this is a firewall, and let's say this is the user device. Okay, all these users are connected via firewall, and if let's say this firewall this user is get infected by virus or some malware, what will happen if Forti client is installed? Forti client is one of the software which is come from the Fortinet itself. What will happen? This Forti client will inform this FortiGate firewall like this system is get infected with the and virus or the malware. Then FortiGate firewall will start blocking the traffic of this user. What what is the benefit of blocking this user? This will prevent the spreading of this malware or virus to these users, right? These are the benefit of a Forti client, or you can say FortiGate firewall. All this will happen automatic. You don't need to do anything. This Forti client itself going to inform this FortiGate firewall, and FortiGate firewall itself going to block the traffic of this user machine. Now the next is in real-time update. As soon as a zero-day exploit is found in the wild, your FortiGate firewall receives signature update automatic through this FortiGuard. FortiGuard is one of the feature of FortiGate firewall. All the signature update, all the signature or the latest threat or the vulnerability will get updated to the firewall using this FortiGuard option. Web filtering. Your web filtering will also work using this FortiGuard. The next feature is the VDOM. We can divide your physical firewall into multiple virtual firewall using this VDOM capability. VDOM means virtual domain. You can divide your firewall into smaller, manageable virtual firewall. See, this feature allow you to slice your one physical firewall into multiple virtual firewall. Now, this is the last topic of today's session.